Welcome everybody. I'm really pleased to have the great honor to moderate this webinar dedicated to the SmartEEs project. And today I'm really pleased also to introduce you our great partner. Oops, sorry. So 2 seconds just to fix these minor problems. And our great partner are in this program the CA Lytton. Sorry for that. Here we go. You see my screen now. So Jérôme Gallier from CA, you are the project coordinator of the SmartEEs program. Hello, Jérôme.
Hello, Geraldine. Good afternoon, everybody.
I'm pleased also to introduce you Minja Maric from Amires, who is also project manager of SmartEEs.
Hello, Geraldine, and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for joining.
And so I'm Géraldine Andrieux, the Blumorpho CEO. So as you know, SmartEEs is an acceleration program supported by the European Commission and is dedicated to help innovative companies to access new markets and grow their business in adopting flexible electronics in their product lines. So SmartEEs is really a great opportunity offered to innovative companies, and through the program, we will support 20 projects with up to 165,000 euros investment per project. To enter into SmartEEs, it's a continuous call with 5 cut-off dates, and it will explain to you in details during this webinar. This webinar is dedicated to guide you to enter into SmartEEs, to share information, and also for you to ask your own questions. So how to do that? You can see on your screen that you have a question box where you can ask all your questions. We will answer to you during the webinar, but if we don't have time to answer all, we will answer to you directly after the webinar. We want this webinar to be very interactive, so we will ask you as well some questions. Please answer. You will see how to do that, just to click on the screen. And it's very useful for us because we can address better your interests and better collaborate with you as well. So first of all, I'd like to ask Jérôme Gallier if he can introduce us in more detail what is flexible electronics.
Yes, thank you, Geraldine. So, yes, I will give you some insights into the technology services provided by SmartEEs, and we'll start with some definitions. So, what are flexible electronics about? Basically, we can highlight 2 different types. The first one is covering what we call organic and printed electronics, which can be implemented onto a large area and flexible substrates. So this is typically what you can see on the picture on the center of the slide, also at the bottom left, where you see sensors and tracks that have been deposited onto a piece of textile and plastic foil. And the second type of flexible electronics is covering what we call the hybrid systems. So these hybrid systems are systems combining the organic and printed electronics of the first type together with silicon-based microelectronics. So with these hybrid systems, we are actually combining the best of the 2 worlds. Implementing flexible electronics on large array and flexible substrates, taking also the advantage of the silicon capability, which are basically miniaturization, capability for computing, communication, sensing, and so on. And these hybrid systems, you can see with the examples on the top right and middle left, where you see silicon chips that have been picked and placed and connected to each other by printed tracks onto plastic foldable substrates. So that's for the definitions. Now, Geraldine, could you help me changing to next slide? Yes, thank you. So concerning the economic impact of flexible electronics, we have got some figures that have been published by the OIE, which is the European Association for Organic Electronics, and which have been estimating the market for flexible electronics around to billion euros by 2027, which figure, 62 billion euros, is to be compared to, at the bottom of the slide, to the market for semiconductor and smart sensors nowadays. So you see we are more or less at the same level of market opportunities, even though the time scale is different. So here, these figures to tell you that estimations are quite large. There is very large opportunities to generate and to launch on the market a new product, and commercial opportunities are quite large for flexible electronics. And also here on the slide, you see some examples of applications that have been highlighted by the OEE roadmap. So on the left, you have got, for instance, applications like automotive, building, consumer electronics, energy and lighting, where we do already have some products in the market, while on the right-hand side, you have other applications where we're expecting novel products to emerge soon. But anyway, the field of applications remains fully open, and we are expecting very good business opportunities in this field. So next slide, please, Geraldine.
It shows really that the market is very attractive for any companies. So all companies can totally adopt flexible electronics.
Indeed, yes. So now, what is the added value of flexible electronics into your product development? So there are many values, and we may just classify them in or under four different points. The first one, being the possibility to have flexible design of your product, also including aesthetic aspects. For instance, with flexible electronics, you can have free-form designs of your product. You can use colored materials. You can adjust their colors. You can have access to semi-transparent materials as well. And as I said earlier, you can implement electronics onto large area, but also go to non-planar surfaces. The second value is the ergonomy. Because we are using organic materials which are not brittle, we can use a flexible substrate, as already mentioned, but also we have got a toolbox of processes compatible with non-planar surfaces, meaning that we can, in the end, adjust the flexible electronics to complex product surfaces, so we can conform the electronics to the product geometrical specificity. Then the third point is the capability to print various functions in the same on the same surface and combine this surface into a multifunctional system. And these functions can be of many kinds, bringing autonomy to your system, or sensing capability, computing, and other functions. And finally, important is the production agility of flexible electronics, because there are a large variety of process schemes which entitle you to consider either low volume or high volume productions. So you can adjust the production scheme to your market needs. Next slide. Geraldine, I'm sorry, I cannot turn the slide myself. It doesn't work. Okay. No, we need to go back. Okay, thank you. So we have simplified in SmartEEs the service offer by setting basically four types of added value. The first one is to bring energy to your product. So you see here an example of organic photovoltaic devices that have the shape of tree leaves, okay, and that can bring electricity to some device. On the right-hand side, you see we can also offer integration capability. So the example here is quite nice and showing you that we have embedded an organic display onto a plastic foil, which foil can be further integrated into a larger system later on. At the bottom left, we can bring light to your product. So we have got many different kinds of emitting devices of various colors, of various shapes that can be directly integrated into your. So this slide I introduced already. So basically, please go and visit our showroom on the SmartEEs website, and you will see the 35 flexible electronic solutions we are proposing. These are classified in these 4 categories: organic photovoltaics, down to electronics and components, and integrated smart systems. So go there and pick up ideas of what you could advantageously use and integrate in your products, and we will help you towards a prototyping experiment.
Thank you very much, Jerome, for this very nice presentation and introduction about flexible electronic. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask our participants if they are themselves familiar with flexible electronics. So you can see on your screen, you have a question where we're asking you if you are familiar with flexible electronic or not. So you just have to click to let us know. Very good. So it seems that quite a lot of you are familiar with flexible electronics, which is a great information. So you are really in the right place in entering into the SmartEEs project. Now, I'd like also to ask you an additional questions. When we speak about the different functions highlighted by Jérôme, could you share with us your point of view on the functions that reach your interest? Is it light, energy, integration, intelligence? It's a multiple choice answer, so you can select several functions. That's really fine. And those questions will be also useful for us to address your needs. So we will come back to you with additional information if you want on those. But again, express your interest. That will be also very useful for the program. So 2 more seconds for the one that haven't answered yet. Thank you very much. And finally, a last question is for us to know if you would like to receive more information on flexible electronic. So you just have to answer yes or no. And if you want to receive more information, we will send you more information, but also invite you to join the SmartEEs website that will be introduced later on by Minya, where you will see also this marketplace that Jérôme just introduced you. So thank you very much for this interaction with us. That's really useful. And now I'd like to ask you, Jérôme, SmartEEs is not only technology, it's a lot of different things. Could you highlight the full value of SmartEEs?
Yes, and some additional information indeed. So just to remind here that SmartEEs is offering a complementarity of technologies with electronics inside, which will take the full advantage of existing printing processes, but also textile engineering or paper fabrication. These are just examples, but also important to have in mind is that SmartEEs can provide you a hardware support if you have got any software applications in mind. So SmartEEs can be really coupled to software needs, software products, software applications. The second point, as you understood, we can make multifunctional product thanks to the different functions offered by organic semiconductors and conductors in a way that we can develop emerging products with smart products from hardware to digital connectivity, but also to have in mind that we are offering non-technical services in SmartEEs, and we can help you building up your business model and also identifying and completing your value chain. So it's very important to have in mind that we do offer, together with the technical services, the technologies, non-technical services, which are absolutely necessary. And finally, SmartEEs is a project, it is a program as well, but it is also an ecosystem, or it will become an ecosystem we are currently building up. So we are setting up a community of stakeholders to which we invite you to join. And in these communities, there will be technology providers, there will be technology users, there will be intermediary organizations like industrial clusters, associations, European technology platforms, and there will be also some private and public funding bodies. Okay, and within this community, we would like to promote some brokerage activities which will happen through our marketplace. So the marketplace is a virtual place which is available on our website. This is still under construction, but basically that will be an important place for you to go and search and meet with other stakeholders for B2B activities, as an example. So now on this slide, you see that you have got access to a large landscape. You have the logos of the SmartEEs consortium. So we have 7 competence centers, which are basically research centers. CA in France, CPI in UK, TNO Netherlands, VTT Finland, Eurecat Spain, Fraunhofer Germany, IMEC Belgium. And also we have got 3 innovation and business developers and networks, which are EBN in Belgium, Amires in Switzerland, and Blumorpho in France. And all together, 10 partners from 8 European countries, we have launched an innovation and advisory panel, which is for now composed of 2 national and European associations, 34 industrial clusters, 8 investors, and 18 industrial companies. So this is the beginning of our community, of our ecosystem, and we highly recommend you to join us to get faster in your business. And the next slide, please. Okay, next slide, Geraldine. Yeah, okay, and that will be my last slide to say that today there have been 8 digital innovation hubs funded by the European Commission, and with a common goal of accelerating ideas to the markets and towards a faster digitization of the European economy and society. Okay, there are 8 digital innovation hubs, including one which is fully dedicated to flexible electronics, and this is SmartEEs. So SmartEEs is the place to go and to be nowadays and onwards for making business in flexible electronics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jérôme. It's a very good introduction indeed to the SmartEEs program, where you have access to technology, but also, as you said, brokerage activity through the ecosystems and business support. And just for me to explain that a bit more details, I will go through the details of the acceleration program, as you can see here. So SmartEEs acceleration program is dedicated to SMEs, startups, and mid-cap. We have 2 main objectives. The first is to help you to create functional product demonstrator. And the second is to support you to develop application and new business model to enter into the digitization of the industry. So we are operating in different ways. We are helping you to develop new products with low investments. We help you to open new markets and business opportunity, to get additional competencies within your team, and also we provide you with some investments in different ways, as you will see later during the presentation. So just to give you more details about this program. So when we speak about develop new products, the goal here is to facilitate your adoption of flexible electronics. As you have seen, a lot of added value in flexible electronics, and it's very important for us that you get access to feasibility validation with design, first prototyping, and also the ability to scale up. So we are bringing new functionality to your existing product or to develop new products. And the full team, the SmartEEs team, will help you to design and to support you from a technical point of view. We said also access to additional competencies. Flexible electronics might be new for you, might be not already existing in your company. So the SmartEEs team will provide you with competencies in design, training, and some guidelines as well. It's not only technical, as Jérôme said before, it's also a support in innovation management with business management and also funding management. Why? Because the goal is to open new markets. So we will help you to validate your competitive positioning, to explore new markets, and also to build new value chain. And to do all of that, we all know that it's taking time, it's taking resources. So we are providing you with investment. We have ourselves investing in new products and in your program, because we will inject money in your development in different way. I will come back to that later on. So we're providing you with direct services, and you will have also some grants that will be available for your own companies. We're expecting from you a in-kind contribution, because those programs, those feasibility study has to be strategic for you. So we need to collaborate with you, to make a partnership with you, and we're expecting a first level investment on your side as well. The goal of the SmartEEs program is also to set up the next steps, financing through public and private investment. So in terms of budgets, as we just said before, we are investing 80,000 euros, both of technical and non-technical services. We are providing you with 60,000 euros in voucher, so this is a grant that will be allocated to your own company. And we're expecting from you about 25,000 in-kind contribution, your own funding, that you can allocate in labor, in materials time, in different expenses, and we'll come back to you later on. So you can see it's quite investment on our side, and we are really looking to collaborate with companies that want to adopt flexible electronics and have real ambition to put this technology to the market. So about the direct services, just to give you more details, so we are providing both technical services to give access to flexible electronics technologies and for the integration into functional demonstrator. We are providing also services in non-technical services like business plan and scaling up for your company. So it's going through product development, like how to develop the right product, how to secure the IP, and how to structure the supply chain to make sure that this prototype will become a product with relevant production partner. Also business support. We need to work with you to validate the business case, to get the voice of the customers. And here we are bringing our network, we are bringing our brokerage activities to facilitate your customer adoption. It's also very important to define your business model. We are speaking about new field. We are speaking about digitization of sensing, a lot of different new functions. So the business model are key, and we are here to support you as well to define your relevant business model. And finally, access to finance, because SmartEEs will help you for a specific stage of your product development, but we need to prepare the next step with you. So we will help you to source public funding, but also private investment. We have a network of private investors that are part of SmartEEs, and they are here also to help you to reach the next steps. So as you can see, very valuable services for SmartEEs. And also a voucher. So we are allocating 60,000 to third parties. So parties are you, innovative companies, SMEs, startup, mid-cap, with the willingness to bring products to the market. But you can also have access and get additional partner, like additional supplier if you wish, using this voucher. So it's a lot of flexibility. SmartEEs is an agile program, so we are here really to drive you to success. Now, when you see the value of SmartEEs, I'm sure you all want to enter into the program. So I'd like to ask Minya to give us a presentation and a detailed explanation on how to enter into the SmartEEs process.
Yes, thank you, Geraldine. Well, I will try to explain how it is, how you can enter our process in order for you to be more successful with your application experiment proposals. So here, yeah. The only way to enter the SmartEEs program is through the open call for application experiments. This because SmartEEs, as we've heard, is one of the digital innovation hubs, and it is aligned with the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative. So it is one of the few Horizon 2020 projects that is allowed by the European Commission to open a call for application experiments and to assign part of its budget to the selected innovative companies in order for them to implement these application experiments. So this is practically the only way. This image that we have here shows practically different steps of this process. So as you can see here, and here today in my slides, I will concentrate more on the first two steps, but I would like also to explain the other two here so that you know what the entire process includes. So first of all, you have to prepare your idea. You can consult it with the SmartEEs consortium or not. You download the documents that are available on the website, and later on I will show you where to find all the necessary information and what documents you should fill in. If you have questions, you can always contact the help desk, who is there to help you. So once you are ready with your proposal, you can submit it. So this marks the final, the end of the first process. And at that point, practically, when we reach the end of each of the cut-off dates, and later on we will see that we have different cut-off dates in our project proposals. In our call, we will collect all submitted applications, and we will start the evaluation and selection process. This process, so practically the step 2, will take up to 1 month. So here we have a panel of different experts, including investors, who will be evaluating all submitted proposals. Only the best ones will be offered the chance to negotiate the joint service planning, which is already part of the third step, together with the service delivery manager, who will be assigned to each innovative company winning the call for application experiments. So at that point, together with the joint service delivery manager, you will be co-developing a joint implementation plan, and this process will take you up to 2 months. So once this plan is defined, the service delivery can start, and this is practically the fourth and the final step in our process. So with this, within 6 or 9 months, you will be delivered the defined services. Obviously, there will be some monthly reporting for you, so there will be some requirements from your side that will have to be respected. Just a moment. Yes. The objective of our call is, as we said before, to select 20 application experiments to benefit from our acceleration program. And the result of each one of these will be, as said, functional project demonstrator and application and business model. This all because we aim to provide support to innovative companies to access new markets and grow their businesses by integrating flexible electronic technologies into advanced products and services. Who can apply? So now we come to the concept of eligible applicants. So SMEs, startups, or mid-caps are allowed to join our call, or are considered eligible applicants. So if you are one of these, you can definitely, and you should definitely apply. You can be an innovative company or traditional industry from any activities field, so automotive, building, architecture, textile, or anything. And one of the important things is that you have to be established in one of the eligible countries. Later on, I will show you also, we have a list of eligible countries which applies practically to all funding of Horizon 2020. So you have to make sure that you are established in one of those countries, and in that case, you are considered eligible and you can apply for our call. Here, in order to help you define if you are an SME or mid-cap, we have practically a table, which is also published on our website. So you have to take into consideration different criteria or different factors in order to make sure that you are really either one or an SME or a mid-cap. So the first criteria is staff headcount. So this one has to be respected. And there are other tools, turnover or balance sheets. So practically you should try and respect one of these other tools together with the staff headcount. There are two documents, Commission recommendation from 2003 concerning the definition of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, which will help you practically define, or it was constructed as a tool to help you decide if you qualify as an SME, and then if you practically qualify for the support from our program. This because today SMEs come really in many different shapes and sizes, so sometimes in this really complex business environment, it is difficult to decide if a company is really an SME or not, because many companies have close financial or operational or governance relationships with other enterprises. So although they apparently may seem to be an SME, they in fact are not. So it is really important that you take into consideration not only practically this enterprise's size, such as employees, turnover, balance sheet, but also you have to think about the control or access to additional resources that you might have. So if you have access to different resources, like if you are owned or linked or partnered with other larger organizations, in that case you have to check and see and take into consideration part or all of the data from also these other companies, and then you have to make a calculation, proper calculation, and see if you really fit into these categories. The second document that I listed here, User Guide to the SME Definition, is also available on our website, and it is a really interesting document because it gives you practical examples, and it can really help you define if you are really if you really satisfy these criteria. So I suggest that you consult both of these documents before applying. When you can apply, so this is also another important issue. So practically our call is constantly open. This means that it will end, you can apply practically any time until 20th of September 2019. You can apply whenever you want, but you should know that we have 5 cutoff dates, which will be closed by 5 p.m. Central European time in March, July, November, April, and September. So the dates are here in the table. So once these dates expire, we will start evaluation procedures. So for you, it is important to know that you should apply before these dates, because obviously there is, if you apply just a day or two after the expiry, for example, of the first cutoff date, you should know that you will have then to wait for the end of the second cutoff date to hear about the results of your proposal. So make sure to apply before the cutoff dates. Where to look for information? Also, we have practically dedicated an entire page on our SmartEEs website for the call for proposal, for the application experiments, and as Jerome mentioned before, we have a marketplace with different sections, and particularly with the showroom, where you can practically see different examples, more than 35 flexible electronic technologies. You can identify or select the technologies that can bring advanced functions to your novel products. Obviously, once you've consulted that, if you decide, and when you decide to apply for our call, then you should go to the page dedicated to the call for application experiments, download the listed documents. We have 5 documents here: text of the call, application form, guidelines, SmartEEs financial guidelines, and service delivery agreement. You should make sure that you satisfy the criteria and then fill in the application form and send it to us. Now I will show you what is our website, how our website looks like. and you can see also the marketplace and the showroom. So as soon as you digit www.smartees.eu, you are immediately welcomed by this pop-up message, which invites you to go. If you click here, you will be directly directed or landed to the page about the call for application experiments. But if you would like to discover a little bit the website, you can close that window, and then here we are on the home page. So practically, you can access the section for the call from this button, apply, and you can access the market room from here. I would like to show you also here we have three main boxes. So here, this one with the countdown practically shows you how much time left you have until this first cutoff date. So it is 23 days still, but you should hurry up, yeah, and submit your proposals if you have them already. So practically, we will go first to the showroom so that you can see what are the examples of flexible electronic. Just a moment. I'm sorry, it's a bit late, but it will eventually.
Yeah, and the marketplace will show the different technology already highlighted by Jerome in the.
Yes, here we are. So this is the homepage of the marketplace. So you have also here three sections: showroom, community, and brokerage. For now, you are interested in the showroom. So as we mentioned before, we have different sections here, so you can bring energy to your product. So examples of this section are here: interaction to your product, bring light to your product, and intelligence. If we select, for example, this part, so here you will find different examples of how to bring intelligence to your product. So, for example, here, clicking, you will see the OLED button for textile integration. So these are product features and specifications and feature options. Here it shows you what are the sectors or applications. Also here, for example, if you go to the technology categories, here you can select the four main boxes, or here in the application type, if you wish, you can, you are, for example, interested only in energy, so you can click here, and this will list you all solutions that regard energy. So, for example, we click this one, and again, you have this entire description of the product. So this can give you an idea how to use flexible electronic in your products. If you wish then to apply to the call, so you can just click on this button, and this will lead you to the page that I was telling you about. So it's SmartEEs call for application experiments. So here you have different sections, which are practically developed here through this entire long page. So what this is about, you will find information about what type of activities are eligible for the call, what's the aim of the application experiments, when you can apply. So as I've mentioned here, you can do it anytime, but please be aware that there are 5 cutoff dates, and after which we will do the evaluation. Who is eligible? So as we said, these are eligible categories. Here you will find the Commission recommendation and the guide for SME definition I was telling you about. And also here the list of countries that are eligible for funding. Obviously for you it is interesting, this part, so why you should apply. We've mentioned already the budget. More details about the budget and about the requirements for reporting will be can be found in the service delivery agreement or the SmartEEs financial guidelines for application experiments. I will later on show you also this part, which is a little bit about the process. how you can apply, obviously, and here this section is relevant for you. This is practically the list of different documents. From here you can download each one of them. For you, perhaps I suggest that you obviously download and read all of them, but for you the most important one will be this one. So it is the application form, which you will have to fill in and sent to us. So this will be your application experiment proposal. As you can see here, so there are some information about the proposal, company information, this entire section, applicant details, which are followed by the 3 questions. So we are interested to know if this is the first or resubmission, so if you have ever submitted the proposal before. Then for us it is important that you say if you are a startup or mid-cap or SME, so that you respect these criteria. Obviously also the question about the flexible electronic technology. After that, you have the possibility to briefly, practically describe the content and objectives of your application experiment and the results for the product demonstrator. After this, we pass on to the central part of the application experiment, which is practically the concept. We will later on talk about a little bit about that. Concept, implementation, and impact. So these are the 3 main parts of the application form that you have to fill in with your information. The last one will not be marked. It's only for our purposes to understand if you have received any type of support from the SmartEEs consortium. So that is if you have consulted your proposal before. I think now we can return to the presentation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so we spoke about the application form already.
Yes, we said about that. So concept practically regards alignment with our core needs and challenges. So these will be market or business needs, opportunities and innovation. In the implementation part, you have to describe what will be your activities that you will conduct through this application experiment, what are the resources and risks, and in the final part, you will have to talk about outcomes, wider impact, and strategy for your proposal. Yeah. Sorry for that. Okay. Once you've submitted your application proposal, so whatever comes up to a certain cut-off date, we will obviously accept all the applications and we will start the evaluation process. In this process, the evaluation panel will participate. So we have a group of 5 evaluators who will be evaluating each proposal. And they will be evaluating the 3 mentioned parts of the 3 criteria of the evaluation form. And these are concept, implementation, and the impact. Each of these sections will be given a score ranging from 0 to 5. Maximum score is 15. But in order to be successful, each of these parts have to have a threshold score of 3. Obviously, we are also interested in knowing the overall threshold, so the overall threshold also has to be respected. This one is 9. We will then be doing the ranking of the proposals. So practically, they will be ranked according to the overall scores in descending order. So the best proposals will be then, who pass the 2 rounds of evaluation, will be offered the chance to negotiate and define the joint implementation plan with the service delivery manager, as said before. Evaluation will be returned, as we said, 4 weeks after the submission deadline. So more or less after a month, you will be all informed about the results. Here are some tips for better writing proposals. So it's really important that you read carefully the guidelines. So we have tried to put all necessary information in various documents, and all the documents that I've listed before. So it is really important that you read them all. Write in English, because we will accept only proposals in English language. Take the time to write less. This is also really important. We ask you to be as concise as possible, not to write novels, but to put everything in less words as possible, because less is always more. Write for the reader, not for yourself. So try to put yourself in the shoes of an evaluator, of people who will be judging your proposal. Answer the questions. So practically, we have a document, application guidelines, that you will find, that you can download from the website. And in this document, we have practically asked you different questions. We are somehow guiding you how to fill in the application form. So for us, it is really important that you answer all those questions, because we will be looking for those answers. You can always provide examples for us. And obviously, don't leave everything for the last minute. If you are ready, don't wait for anything, submit immediately. If you have any questions, you can always contact the SmartEEs help desk, which is active from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. Central European time always. And you can either send an email to helpdesk@smartees.eu, or you can contact us by phone.
Thank you, Minja. It's very detailed presentation. And I'd like to ask our participants if they are planning now to apply to the SmartEEs project. So you can answer easily. So are you planning to apply for the first cut-off dates? Or maybe, or not for the first, but maybe later, and also not at all. And if it's not at all, it will be very interesting to know why, because as we said, the goal is really to make a program very relevant to SME startups and mid-caps. So just a few seconds more, so you can, yeah, so thank you very much. And also we wanted to know if you would like to, yes, for the one that think they will apply or have planning to apply, it's very important also for us to know if you have already started your application, yes or no. And of course, if you want to receive more information, as said Minya, don't hesitate to contact the SmartEEs help desk. We are here to answer your questions and really to help you to prepare the relevant proposal. So any questions you have, don't hesitate to ask us. So thank you for your answers. Now, I'd like also to explain that SmartEEs will be at the LOPEC events. It will be on the 13th to the 15th of March in Munich. And we have the great pleasure to have the ability to offer you some free entrance tickets. So if you are interested to know more about flexible electronics, you just have to let us know, and we will be really pleased to send you free tickets so you can attend this event dedicated to flexible electronics. So don't hesitate, it's a very large conference. We'll be here, so it's a great opportunity to meet, to help you also to finalize your proposal if you wish. And the SmartEEs program will be really happy to meet you. So if you're interested in this, just inform us and we will send you the tickets. So we'll contact you to know exactly the number of entry you would like to get. Okay, thank you very much for that. So I think we have done for the presentation, and thank you very much, Minya, for this very detailed presentation. As it's writing now here, if you want to enter into SmartEEs, it's really easy. You just have to come to the website and go and to start your application. Minya, I think we have also a question to answer, and don't hesitate as participants to ask your question directly on the tool. So Minya, I don't know if you had time to have a look to some of the questions, but we can go through some of them. As I said before, we will